Hi everyone, thank you so much for this invitation. So today I'd actually like for all of you to please close your eyes like 10 seconds and just go back to when you were, I don't know, 7 years old maybe, and remember running around your house, close to your parents or caregivers, getting to them, and you heard that they were talking about you. Or maybe they were talking about something that interested you. And you approached them and you wanted to participate in that conversation, but then you received this is an adults-only conversation. And you were forced to either leave the room or change the movie or change the, I don't know, movie series, whatever you wanted to do. You can come back, to those of you who are still closing your eyes. And I just want to see a show of hands of who could relate to this experience of being excluded of a conversation because this was an adult-only conversation. I want to see a show of hands. Okay, lovely. I think the majority of us. And in the majority of the cases, our parents were right because probably they were having adult-only conversations. But this is what I wanted to use also as an introduction to talk about maybe what we've been talking for the whole day and keep on discussing through this Wednesday at Festival de Datos, which is young people. And I'll be sharing some data because this is the data festival, so why not? Did you know that 72 million pieces of personal data will be collected on every child around the world by their 13th birthday? Only in the US, 95% of young people have access to a smartphone. And 45% of them say that they're online almost constantly. The context in Europe is really not different. 96% of young people access the internet every day, but only 23% use the internet for civic and political participation. Africa's population is made up mainly of young people. And in Latin America, 2 out of 3 young people say that the lack of access to digital technologies hinders their ability to learn, which is also why almost half of them advocate for more investment in digital infrastructure. Now imagine being part of the most connected population ever, because literally young people are the most connected ever. Yet imagine being the most disconnected from these conversations and being told that this is an adult-only conversation. The frustration that I felt when I was 7 and I wanted to have these adult conversations with my parents is maybe the frustration that many young people are feeling nowadays. They're concerningly absent from the design of data-driven technologies that will be targeting them as main users. And they're absent from the data policy discussions in which we are making decisions on how to govern those data-driven technologies, in which we're deciding how to collect data about youth and about many other communities. At the Datasphere Initiative, we have launched the Youth for a Data Future project with the goal to close this gap between youth and decision makers. We, some months ago, launched a social media campaign that you can follow on Instagram and TikTok, in which we're engaging young people to talk about things such as gender data, mental health, education and skills, even privacy. Sometimes even we have some assumptions that young people don't care about privacy and they just say yes to whatever service because they're young and they want to be connected. That's not true. They do care about privacy. They do care about education and skills. And they have ideas on how to collect data to improve mental health services. So we launched this campaign, and next year we will be conducting a series of youth labs in the US. And our ambition is also to expand this project to other regions of the world, because one of the big learnings of the project is that young people do not only want their voices leveraged and enhanced, but they also want to be connected. And they want to learn what are other young people doing in other parts of the world, and how can they improve their own experiences online by learning from others. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning young people again, and we'll hear about this all day, is because this experience of being underrepresented, sometimes not seen, sometimes excluded from the conversation, is not an experience that's unique to youth. It's the experience of women and girls, especially those coming, as I am, from Latin America, from Africa, from Southeast Asia, and other parts of the world. It's the experience of LGBTQ people that are often not only not included in the conversation, but most of the times they're not included in the data either. And it's the experience of many other groups and communities that I can just keep on listing here. When it comes to talking about inclusive data, at the Datasphere Initiative, we're advocating for a more holistic and systemic approach, which means that we should go beyond just thinking about the quantitative questions on what are the right questions to be asking in a survey to make sure that we're capturing everybody. That, of course, is the first step. Because if we're not capturing realities in the data, then we'll be building services and AI systems and many other technologies that do not take these people into account. But inclusive data needs to go beyond that. And it implies, and this systemic approach means, that we're actually including people in the conversation. And we're being intentional with the participatory spaces that we're opening so that people such as young people, women and girls, LGBTQ people, and I can keep going with the list, have a seat at the table, and they are part of a conversation on how they want the structure inequalities of the societies that we live in being addressed, hopefully with data, and also thinking of the services that they need. So by opening these spaces up, by being intentional with a participatory approach, we will be, hopefully, shaping a more equitable data future and responsibly unlocking the value of data for all. Thank you.